What's going on YouTube, it's Manny right here. Today we are down here in Leeds University doing some shoot with the new lens that I've just bought, the Zeiss Loxia 21mm 2.8. I'm shooting with that right now over here in this lens. The lens itself is manual focus and it's very portable and very small, easy to carry around. You can take it anywhere with you very easily, and just overall it's a really good lens. This is why we're here right now, down at Leeds University, this area right here, beautiful, with lots of nice modern architecture to do some shoot with this lens. A few of the scenes will be used on a different lens to film myself, but most of the shoot, the video, the stills will be through this lens right here. So we are going to do some shoot with the gimbal, with the I'm happy to announce I've got the new Ronin-S in hand, ready to test out. And we're also going to do some long exposure shot as well, a nighttime photography with the 21mm Zeiss Loxia 2.8 lens, and we're going to try that out and see how sharp it is, how good it is for architecture. I'm pretty sure it will be very good. I'm really excited about this because this place has a lot of memories for me, and especially the Roger Stevens building, and this new building right here is newly built. It's a car park for the university. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, right here, right now, we have the Sony A7R III and the Zeiss Loxia 21mm 2.8 balanced on the DJI Ronin-S gimbal. We are going to try and get some footage and see how well this performs. Everything is in manual focus, not too shabby really. Turn up the ISO a little bit. So right here we have the 21mm 2.8 Zeiss Loxia lens with the Sony A7R III balanced on the DJI Ronin-S. We're trying to shoot some selfie mode with this. 360 rotation is not too bad. So I was intrigued with the Zeiss Loxia 21mm 2.8 lens balancing on the DJI Ronin-S. I have to say it's quite light. I have actually got the Rode mic balanced on top of the Sony A7R III with the Zeiss Loxia combination balancing on the Ronin-S, and to be fair, it's not too heavy. Obviously it will be heavy if you carry it long enough for the whole day shoot, but for a couple running gun shots and then have a few rests, it's not too bad, it's okay. So right now I'm holding the Sony A7R III with the Zeiss Loxia 21mm 2.8 and a Rode mic on top balancing on the DJI Ronin-S. As you can see, the footage is quite smooth. So the sharpness is really good as well on the Zeiss Loxia. The one thing though is that this is a manual focus lens. Now it works well on this kind of situation where I'm shooting the whole architecture, but if I begin to shoot something more closer up, say a portrait or certain object, then it's not going to work too well. So that's one thing to bear in mind. when you're using the manual lens. For example, right now if I want to turn to shoot myself, see if we can get it to work like that. If I'm shooting myself right now, I will need to readjust the focusing. For example, we are going to have to focus it to 0.4 meters, about right there, something like that. But one issue with this is you are messing around with the manual focus, and it's not fun because this Ronin-S is super heavy, and we don't really want that when we are balancing on a gimbal. So that's one thing to bear in mind when you're using the manual focus lens on a gimbal. Right, so let's get a couple of long exposure shots right here of the Roger Stevens. Alright, so first of all, let's get the setting right first. And get it about 2 seconds exposure and turn. Shutter speed of about 2 seconds, maybe 1 second is enough. We turn down the ISO. ISO is too much, and we are going to try with this one right here. Obviously we don't want any jerk, so we want a timer on this. So press the button and leave it there. And here we go. Nice and sharp. Beautiful. Okay, so the beauty of this lens is that when you're shooting with this lens, when you're focusing on this lens, the body camera itself will be able to sync up with the lens and allow you to magnify 100 or 200% onto the background itself, and allow you to really get that focus perfect with the focus peaking, and you will be able to shoot a nicer, sharper image. Comparing to other lenses like the Laowa or any other manual lens that doesn't have the electronic connector, you won't be able to zoom right in or magnify right in to get that perfect sharpness that you will get with the Zeiss Loxia 21mm 2.8. So that's the beauty of this lens right here. Alright, so halfway through our shoot, the verdict so far with this lens is that obviously it's tiny, it's small. You can see right here, the lens itself is really small, and it's almost the size of the Zeiss 55mm or the Sony 28mm F2. It's a good size. It's a little bit heavier due to the fact that it's made out of metal or steel. So the minimum focus distance for this lens is 0.25 meters, which is also 25 centimeters. So then that's really close for a wide-angle lens. Although I know that a certain lens can go closer, like the Laowa. You will be able to get some really close-up, super wide-angle close-up shots of a certain subject where the background will be blurred out very nicely. So overall, so far I do like this lens. But is it really worth £1,000, or in America it'll be about $1,300 or $4,000? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure this lens is worth that much. Maybe with further testing, people will be able to tell the difference. So far though, I do like the color that comes out of it. The contrast of the color you get from this lens is almost comparable to Sigma. I don't know if that's the right thing to say or not, but that's just my opinion. That's it really for now, so I'm going to continue with the shoot on a different location, so let's go. yeah, basically I'm quite impressed with the Zeiss Loxia 21mm 2.8 lens right here. It's a very small lens. If you're planning to go out on a shoot on the inside a city center like this kind of place, you basically don't want to attract too much attention. Big lenses like the Sigma 20mm 1.4 lens, that lens is massive. That's probably the closest lens I can to compare with a 21mm. But obviously you have other pancake lens of the 20mm 2.8 as well, but obviously those quality won't be the same. And also the 20mm 2.8 pancake lens is actually an APS-C lens, so that will make the lens a 30mm 2.8, so it's not really a fair. Okay, so the verdict of this lens, the Zeiss Loxia Distagon 21mm 2.8, is I really like the lens. I really think that this lens has huge potential for stills photography and architecture, landscape photography. But one thing I'm not too sure about is the fact that this is a manual focus lens, and also it costs £1,000 for a manual focus lens, 2.8 aperture. I'm not too sure about it, but the fact that this lens is very sharp, very tack sharp, and that really impressed me how sharp it is, and the color contrast that comes out of this lens is actually not too bad at all, even though I'm not editing anything on the images or videos yet, and the color comes out, it's really crisp and really contrasty, almost like towards the vibrant side. Maybe it's the lighting here, but I'm not too sure. But when I go back home, I'll edit some of the photos and videos, and hopefully we'll be able to get some amazing quality, and we'll be able to really see how good this lens really is. But for now, this is my first impression by just looking at the back of the screen of the camera. The contrast of the color is just so impressive. So that's my verdict of it, but I am just not too sure it's £1,000 is justified for this lens. So for now, let's go to the studio and do some editing and show you some of the footage that I captured.
Yeah.
Shoot, or even my vlog shoot, and the plane just bloody ruined it all. Typical that, isn't it? So